A regional war rarely stays regional when it begins to press against the fault lines of energy, geography, and strategic alignment. The evolving confrontation involving Iran, the United States, and Israel is no longer just a distant geopolitical episode. It is a developing stress test with direct and growing implications for Pakistan's security, economy, and foreign policy posture. At the center of this crisis lies a structural reality that Pakistan cannot ignore. The Strait of Hormuz remains one of the most critical energy choke points in the world, and a substantial portion of the global oil supply passes through it. Any disruption, even in temporary, translates into immediate price shocks. For an energy import-dependent economy like Pakistan, this is not an abstract risk, but a direct fiscal and economic vulnerability, affecting inflation, balance of payments, and industrial output. The nature of the conflict itself adds another layer of complexity. This is not a conventional war moving towards a decisive outcome. Instead, it reflects a prolonged strategic stalemate. While the United States and its allies remain overwhelming technological and financial superiority, Iran has demonstrated the ability to offset this advantage through asymmetric means. Proxy networks, maritime pressure, and direct escalation tools allow it to impose cost without engaging in full-scale confrontation. This dynamic ensures that the conflict remains prolonged, unpredictable, and resistant to quick resolution. For Pakistan, the concern is not participation but exposure. Geographic proximity to the Gulf, combined with deep economic linkages, places the country within the outer ring of impact. Energy supply disruptions, rising shipping insurance costs, and volatility in remittance flows from the Gulf region are all plausible consequences. Additionally, any escalation that destabilizes neighboring regions could generate refugee pressure and internal security concerns, particularly given existing sectarian sensitivities. Strategic neutrality, therefore, cannot remain a passive posture. It requires active calibration. Pakistan must balance its relations across competing blocs while safeguarding its core interests. This includes maintaining functional ties with the United States, deepening economic engagement with China, and managing its relationship with Iran carefully to avoid border or security spillovers. Neutrality in this context becomes a dynamic policy tool rather than a static position. The conflict is also unfolding against the backdrop of broader shift towards a multipolar global order. China's expanding economic footprint in this region, particularly through infrastructure and energy investments, is reshaping regional connectivity. Russia, while less economically embedded, continues to seek diplomatic space in evolving alignments. For Pakistan, this redistribution of influence presents both opportunity and risk. Diversification of the partnerships can enhance strategic flexibility, but misalignment can expose the country to competing pressures. Economic consequences are already visible in the patterns of market sensitivity. Global energy prices have shown repeated volatility in response to tensions in the Gulf. For Pakistan, this reinforces a long-standing structural weakness: dependence on imported energy without sufficient buffers. The lesson is clear: energy security must move beyond short-term procurement towards long-term diversification, including renewables, regional pipelines, and strategic reserves. Another critical dimension is the information environment. Conflicts today are shaped not only by military engagements, but also by narratives. Competing information campaigns influence public perception, diplomatic positioning, and even domestic stability. For Pakistan, managing internal discourse becomes essential to prevent polarization or external manipulation, particularly in a conflict that carries ideological undertones. The absence of clear escalation boundaries further complicates planning. The conflict has the potential to expand horizontally through proxy engagements or vertically through direct confrontation. This uncertainty demands scenario-based planning. Pakistan must prepare not just for the most likely outcome, but for multiple contingencies, including disruptions to trade routes, sudden spikes in energy prices, or regional instability. Policy responses, therefore, must prioritize resilience, strengthening economic buffers, ensuring continuity of energy supply, and maintaining internal stability are immediate imperatives. At the same time, diplomatic agility is required to navigate an environment where alignments are fluid and pressures are constant. Ultimately, the situation underscores a broader strategic reality for Pakistan. External conflicts can no longer be treated as distant events with limited domestic impact. In an interconnected system, shocks travel quickly across borders and sectors. The current crisis is a reminder that national security is no longer confined to territorial defense. It is equally about economic stability, energy security, and information integrity. The conclusion is unavoidable. This is not merely a geopolitical consent unfolding elsewhere. It is a developing stress scenario with direct implications for Pakistan's future. The effectiveness of the response will depend on foresight, balance, and the ability to adapt to rapidly shifting strategic landscape, where uncertainty is no longer the exception but the norm.